Like he had a hard time putting out his sneakers. Could he have been injured before the fight?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, the day of the press conference, he came running out of the back and ran right up to him and stopped abruptly and, squared off with him. They were pushing foreheads. And
the question of getting paid as you step in the cage was.
Well, listen. If anybody saw anything that could have possibly made him look weak or injured,
this meant something to me, man. I needed this. I've been waiting for this comeback for so long. It didn't even feel real the entire fight week. And this is the result we get. This is the worst possible outcome of this main event. I see people that don't like Conor McGregor rejoicing at this outcome. You didn't even see him or get to see him get beaten up in that fight. This is the worst case scenario for any McGregor fan and any McGregor hater. We just straight up didn't get a main event.
Do we, the fans, have to once and for all say it's over? Conor McGregor is going to retire. His career is going to...
The wait was finally over, but the comeback fans had been waiting years to see lasted barely a minute. A night expected to make history came to an abrupt end as a devastating injury turned a dream event into a nightmare almost instantly. Conor McGregor later broke his silence, expressing his heartbreak over the brutal leg injury. Max Holloway also reacted, saying, "I was so sharp and so ready for this fight. I cannot believe what has happened. The talk of me being off while walking into the fight is nonsense. I was calm, ready, and confident. I am in shock about what has taken place. The devil is literally staring at me right in front of my face here. I am not engaging. I will be at church tomorrow. I will overcome this. I will not be deterred. I will return." It became one of the most disappointing comeback attempts in recent MMA history, especially considering the...
Unbelievable. I mean, the Paddy Pimblett thing right before, you just feel it all in the air. Here we go. I mean, I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And, well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same.
Enormous anticipation surrounding the event. Dana White appeared visibly disappointed, admitting he had expected at least a full round before the fight ended. Daniel Cormier also expressed his frustration, saying fans were denied what had the potential to become one of the greatest nights in combat sports. Early medical analysis suggested McGregor may have aggravated a pre-existing knee issue during the bout. The initial assessment pointed toward a possible meniscus injury.
Like somebody took my candy from me. I'm just so sad. That's so crazy how sad I am.
Well,
while an ACL injury remained a possibility, although it appeared less likely based on how the incident unfolded. Dr. Brian Sutter later shared his expert opinion, offering a detailed breakdown of the injury. At the same time, a new debate emerged, with some fans speculating that McGregor may have entered the fight already injured and chose to compete anyway. Clips quickly circulated online showing him removing his shoes before...
Didn't have it
I can't tell you guys this. I got a text from our good friend, Dr. Brian Suterer, who's always on point when it comes to these things. Didn't see the classic shift like an obvious ACL. I'd say meniscus number 1. ACL definitely possible and a concern, but not the definitive kind like we've seen in others. Would fit with some meniscus issues coming into the fight that got worse on the landing. So there you have it from Dr. Brian Suterer, who always does an amazing job pinpointing.
Or entering the cage, with many viewers claiming his movement looked unusual. Some questioned whether those moments hinted at an undisclosed injury before the opening bell. The speculation continued to grow, with some members of the MMA community arguing that if McGregor had been injured beforehand, and if the UFC had known, it would represent a major disappointment for both the sport and the fans.
The octagon in the inspection zone. So hard to know if the...
Professional boxer Chase Damore also criticized McGregor, saying, "Bro just got paid millions to go out there and flop," then denies all interviews. This is disrespectful not only to those who paid hard-earned money to watch you, but also those at home who stayed up late, missed work, or made sacrifices to watch. Conor, this is a bad look for the UFC. Max Holloway later revealed that McGregor did not seem like his usual self even before the fight began, recalling that something felt different during his walk to the octagon, making the event...
Than anybody, and you identified it earlier. Do you think it was that first kick that he threw?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I did the UFC podcast before I came here,
And me and Wonderboy was talking about it. Even with him walking into the octagon, it didn't seem, it just didn't seem like the same Conor, Like I thought he was straight there to fight, but like I thought he'd be a little bit more rowdy, a little bit more crazy. He looked like really, really calm, like super calm. So I was just kind of like, oh wow, let's see how this goes. And then of course I knew he was gonna attack me with something, and it was a kick. So it sucked.
Eventual outcome seemed less surprising in hindsight. MMA Guru shared a similar opinion, saying Conor McGregor throws a kick in the opening seconds, suffers an injury, and the fight is immediately stopped. This is the worst possible outcome for a main event. It was essentially a fight that never happened. They'll probably run it back. McGregor
putting out his sneakers. Could he have been injured before the fight?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, the day of the press conference, he came running out of the back and ran right up to him and stopped abruptly and, squared off with him. They were pushing foreheads and.
I'm just wondering if something happened within the last 24 hours. I don't see it on the landing, the actual landing of that flight.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that, but I didn't see. The doctors checked him out before they fight, and he looked damn good at the press conference, and he looked fine at the weigh-ins.
It's just a question of getting paid if you step in the cage.
What's that?
The question of getting paid as you step in the cage was.
Well, listen. If anybody saw anything that could have possibly made him look weak or injured leading up to this fight, I mean, what the fucking face-off do? 44 million in 24 hours? More than 44 million views. Somebody would have saw something. Anybody see something? No. If they did, they didn't say it, which is
looked injured during the walkout. Fans across the MMA world also voiced their frustration after waiting so long for the event, only to see it end almost immediately. During the post-fight press conference, a reporter asked Dana White whether McGregor had already been dealing with a leg injury before the fight, referencing an awkward moment. During the weigh-ins when he appeared to struggle while putting on his shoes. The reporter questioned whether the UFC had been aware of any possible pre-fight issue. As criticism continued to build, the UFC released backstage footage showing McGregor moving normally and even practicing the same kick that later resulted in the injury.
So when we were talking about the guy over here earlier asking about there being a pre-injury, just on my accounts, the face-off that day is at 80 million views, right? So if there was a pre-existing injury, somebody would have noticed it. He was limping, put his shoes on, he ran right at him. I don't think there was. Anything is possible, but he sure didn't look like it. And for 80 million just on my accounts, that number's got to be massive, and nobody noticed anything. So there you go.
Despite that footage, many fans remained unconvinced, pointing to reports and images that appeared to show McGregor visiting a hospital just 3 days before the fight. Meanwhile, Max Holloway admitted he joked about McGregor's knee after the bout, but emphasized there was no disrespect intended. He made it clear that he never wanted to see McGregor suffer a serious injury, and said he still has tremendous respect for the former two-division champion despite the lighthearted comments.
Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett suggested that Conor McGregor's lengthy absence from competition may have contributed to the injury. He admitted it was difficult to watch, especially knowing how much time, effort, and preparation McGregor had invested in making his long-awaited return. Rampage Jackson also questioned what comes next, arguing that such a devastating injury could potentially mark the end of McGregor's career. In his view, recovering from another major setback at this stage would be an enormous challenge, making a successful comeback more difficult than ever. The MMA guru reacted.
And weak in the knees, I guess, so. Jokes aside, I just hope he's good. This guy's kids is front row, I don't want to see him take unnecessary damage. Like, man, come on, you call this. He was done. Ref, stop the fight. He doesn't want to fight. The first time he's on the ground, I was punching him. He's like, fight. I was like, okay. That's why I backed up. I said, stand up there. He just kind of grabbed his leg, and he screamed. He's like, ah. And I was telling the ref, come on, bro. Like, I ain't trying to beat up a wounded dog. It just didn't seem like the same Conor. Like I said, I have people, I keep people weak in their knees. And I bounce his head on the mat, so. All jokes aside, you guys making me a terrible person. What the hell? I might poke fun and tease him here and there, but that's just part of the fight game. As a person, he's an animal.
With frustration and disbelief after McGregor suffered this serious injury just moments into the fight, saying the setback could have a lasting impact on his career, and describing it as one of the heartbreaking outcomes he had ever seen in the sport. He went on to express even greater disappointment because the injury ended the fight before fans received any
I think where he hasn't fought in so long, his body couldn't keep up with it, and coming out and throwing a crazy kick like that first thing, his knee just collapsed underneath him, and I feel bad for him. You know what I mean? He's put so much into coming back and getting back in the octagon, and that happens in the first 5 seconds. You've got to feel
real answers about McGregor's comeback. According to him, the results settled nothing, leaving major questions about McGregor's current level unanswered and making his future more uncertain than ever. Wade Plemons echoed those sentiments, describing UFC 329 as ending.
It's over. Yeah. He knows it.
I just thought he'd be a bit more careful at the start.
They made for a shit main event. He won't be back. Look how mad the crowd everybody is.
You think he's gonna come back? No.
No, I don't.
In the worst possible fashion after McGregor went down with a severe leg injury only seconds into the main event. He argued that fans were denied the opportunity to find out whether McGregor could still compete at the highest level because the contest ended before it had a chance to develop. Dean and AB were equally stunned by what unfolded, saying it became immediate.
But his right foot is fucked. He's going to have to go orthodox. Worst result ever. I hate this sport. I never want to watch it ever again. Worst result ever. I never want to watch this sport ever again. Conor McGregor throws a jumping kick, completely snaps his foot on the ground. His leg's finished forever and he never was able to come back. I hate my life! This is one fucking escape I get, and it's shit. And McGregor just limping around like my...
Obvious that something was seriously wrong the moment McGregor reacted to the injury. They pointed to his immediate response as clear evidence that the damage was significant. Lost to Pablo's TV also reacted emotionally after reportedly losing a $5 million bet when...
I really wanted him to come back and have a good performance. I thought Holloway was going to win by TKO, so I guess I'm correct. But I didn't want to be correct like that. I wanted to at least see a performance where I knew. Has McGregor still got it a bit? Is McGregor still in the mix? Can he not beat Holloway, but he could beat so-and-so? You know? I was thinking, okay, even if Holloway finishes McGregor in round 4 and McGregor looks good early, does he still beat Dan Hooker if he comes back and fights Dan Hooker? You know? It was just a few of those things where I was just hoping I'd get some answers for what level McGregor's at after these 5 years off. To be honest, he did look a little slow, but it was at welterweight, so that's hard to tell because I'm used to seeing him at featherweight and in his prime at lightweight, but it sucks, man. I don't know.
McGregor was injured almost instantly, venting his frustration in an angry rant that included a series of personal attacks against the former champion. Despite the unfortunate ending, Max Holloway has left the door open for another chapter in their rivalry, saying he would...
Gentlemen, I am absolutely devastated. UFC 329 just ended in a wet fart. As Conor McGregor, in the first second of the main event, sprinted toward Max Holloway, as we all held our hopes high in the air that this was the return of the Mac, that maybe, just maybe, potentially he could turn back the clock 10 years from 2026 to 2016 and show us one more time the magic of the Mystic Mac. He sprinted across the cage, took 2 or 3 steps, jumped, and performed a switch kick in midair, landing on his right leg and knee, and it immediately buckled. He tore his ACL, potentially his meniscus, and the fight was essentially over.
Welcome a rematch once McGregor has fully recovered. While Holloway plans to spend time with his family before returning in 2027, he made it clear that he remains open to settling the score inside the octagon in the future. That's all for today's video. Let us know your thoughts on Conor McGregor's heartbreaking return and whether you believe the UFC should book an immediate rematch with Max Holloway. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more MMA news, updates, and coverage.
I'm telling you. No, nigga, he faded, bro. He looked distorted before this fight started, nigga.
Why he keep slipping though?